Alright, we are going to be reacting to the Buzzfeed Unsolved Boy in the Box episode. 3, 2, 1, play.
This week on Buzzfeed Unsolved, we covered the unfortunate murder of the unknown boy in the box. This case has been highly requested and is as bizarre as it is mysterious.
I love bizarre, and I love mysterious. So I am titillated.
Yeah, you look like you're excited to hear about this boy and his box.
Yeah,
Okay.
I am.
Well, let's get into it.
Subtitles
On February 25th, 1957, the body of a boy was found in a box in an illegal dumping ground near Berry Road in Philadelphia. The boy was estimated to be around 4 to 6 years old, weighed 30 pounds, and stood 3 feet 3 inches. He was found naked, but wrapped in a blanket. The boy's hair was cut, and his body was recently washed. There were small scars in several places, including his chin, groin, and left ankle, some of which suggested he underwent a medical procedure. Head injuries were determined to be the cause of death, and there were no witnesses.
Wait, so I was excited to hear about this boy who lived in a box.
That's not what it's about,
As
man.
magical as it
They
sounds.
just found a dead kid in a box?
Yeah.
That's it?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there's going to be more weird details, but I thought it was going to be like, oh, and boy, did he not like his box. And he spent years in his box not liking his box.
I mean, this was the titular moment. We just went over why this boy was in a box, because he was dead. What else do you want?
Well, The Boy in the Bubble, the movie starring John Travolta, he spent so much time in that bubble.
you
We
have
see
a
a lot of bubble content.
You have a habit for citing movies as
I've
evidence.
never seen this movie. Well, I just know it's about John Travolta, and he can't go
That's
outside
even worse.
because germs will kill him, and he has to stay in plastic, and he kisses a girl
We're
through
moving.
the plastic.
You only saw the trailer.
The body was first found by a young man who was walking through the abandoned lot. Strangely, this man waited a full day before tipping off the police. And even stranger, it turns out that a second man had previously found the boy's body, but had not contacted the police because he claimed he did not want to get involved.
That's fair.
I think the young man actually had some illegal animal traps in the area.
You immediately make yourself a suspect when you say, I found this boy in this box.
I found a boy in a box. I had nothing to do with it.
And then the police sergeant on the other line's like, you're like, oh, tell me more about this boy in the box. Does he like his box? And he's like, no, he was
He
dead.
hates it
He was dead.
because he's dead.
Exactly. With the cold weather at the time of year and the delayed phone call from the person who found the body, it wasn't possible to accurately estimate when the boy had passed away. In hopes of finding his identity, the police kept the boy at the morgue while visitors from over 10 different states tried to identify the boy by looking for any significant marks, to no avail. Police sent out 400,000
But I guess that kind of makes sense since it's on the
images
East
of the
Coast and
boy
I'm on the
to
West
press
Coast.
post offices, and courthouses all over the country. Even the American Medical Association sent out a description of the boy, but it led nowhere.
What kind of description are they sending out? It's just, oh, it's a boy. He was in a box.
I mean, they have
He's
like
dead.
defining kids have faces.
I know, but they all kind of look the same. When babies are born, everyone goes, oh, what a cute baby. That's a baby. Either your baby's ugly or normal.
I mean, when they come out, I imagine they go, whoa, that's a huge noggin.
I was a very ugly baby.
I imagine your first steps with your head dragging along the floor like some kind of crab creature.
Okay. Well, that is not true.
Is that enough head jokes for you?
Yeah, that's plenty.
Okay. The police compared the child's footprints to hospital records in the area. Fingerprints were taken of the boy, but no record was found to prove the boy ever existed. I mean, it's strange to just see that somebody's completely off the grid.
What kind of box are we talking? I know this isn't.
It's funny you would ask that because that's exactly what we're about to get into.
I have
And
the
is
mind of a detective.
Yeah, it's the first clue.
Good.
You don't have the mind of a detective. You just,
I think I do.
you stumbled upon a question for once that, actually pertain to the story. You could sip your tea all you want. I'm just saying it's clearly a coincidence. Let's run through some of the key clues left at the scene of the crime. One promising clue came from the actual box itself. The box contained a serial number which allowed investigators to pinpoint the shipment, who were able to trace it back to a J.C. Penney store 15 miles away. Eerily, before the boy, the box was used to ship a bassinet. The store had shipped 12 of these boxes of bassinets. However, all of the purchasers paid in cash. leaving no record. 8 purchasers ended up contacting the police when they read about the story in newspapers to go on record that they either still had the boxes or had put the boxes out for trash collection. Though, the police were able to determine that the box was shipped to Upper Darby, Pennsylvania.
This all makes sense.
Nothing against Pennsylvania.
I don't know. It's quiet up there. People got too much free time. You know what happens next.
It's Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania known for? What
Putting boys in boxes.
I don't think that's. I wouldn't say that Pennsylvanians have a proclivity for
I
boxes
think if you
and
look
boys.
at their state flag,
I don't
you'll
think
see
so.
a boy in a box.
I don't think so.
No, okay, you know what?
The blanket was examined by the Philadelphia Textile Institute, which believed the blanket was made either in Granby, Quebec in Canada, or Swannanoa, North Carolina. But there was no way to tell where this particular blanket was purchased since thousands were made and sold. Ultimately, the blanket lead was a dead end.
Working on that lead.
Yeah.
You're gonna find something with these blankets if you just follow the trail. And you're like, all right, we're doing some work here.
It looks like it was made in the country of Canada.
They only made a few thousand of them.
Another propitious clue was a hat found 15 feet near the box, a blue corduroy Ivy League style cap, size 7 1/8. It was labeled Eagle Hat and Cap Company, and made by the small company owner, Mrs. Hannah Robbins, in South Philadelphia.
Dump a hat, dump a boy.
People dump things in lots.
Yeah.
There's a boy in a box
Yeah.
in a lot.
Also, not always intentionally. You lose a hat in a lot.
Well, I'm pretty sure the boy in the box was dumped there intentionally.
That's probably intentional.
No one's like dragging a boy in the box and then like, as they get home, they're like, I'm forgetting something.
Janet, we left the box. Our boy was in that box.
Mrs. Robbins remembered the man who purchased the hat because she had customized it for him. The man, who was described as blonde between the ages 26 and 30, requested that a leather strap and buckle be added to the hat. He paid in cash, and she never saw him again. Detectives visited over 100 stores within the area, but nobody recognized the hat nor the boy. There was also strands of hair found on the boy's body, suggesting a hasty haircut, and one forensic artist named Frank Bender believes the boy was possibly raised as a girl. In fact, Bill Kelly,
yeah.
an original investigator of the case, recounts that in 1957 and 1958, a West Coast artist did circulate a rendition of the child as a girl, but it never produced any leads.
Wow, they're really going all out for this.
So it could have been a girl in the box, but it wasn't.
It was a boy.
Maybe he had like long hair.
Or maybe, like, I cut my hair throughout most of college, my own hair. I mean, it's cheap.
You did?
Yeah,
How'd that turn out? Do we have any pictures
pretty
of that?
good. People were actually pretty impressed when I told them.
With all these dead ends, let's get into the theories of what could have possibly happened to this boy and who he could be. The first theory comes from authors Lou Romano and Jim Hoffman, who came across a lead from a man in Philadelphia who said that his family once rented a place to a man who sold his son, possibly the boy in the box.
Who sold his son?
Yeah, so he rented a place to this guy who sold his son.
He sold his
Which is
son?
weird because
Oh, yeah.
he was there
Well,
to actually see the sale go
that actually
down.
happened
That's not something you
in
really tell somebody in
The 1930s during the Great Depression. People would sell their kids because they couldn't afford food.
bedrooms. We'll need
60
one of them.
bucks, can you believe it? How much is rent again?
A forensic pathologist looked at photos of the boy's potential father and possible brother and agreed that similarities would warrant further laboratory testing. He found similarities in the facial structure, the helix of the right ear, and the nose. A DNA sample was taken from the man they believed to be the brother. Oddly, investigators on Philadelphia police did not say whether they would test DNA to compare the potential brother to the DNA of the boy in the box. They
So
only
they didn't-
said they would, quote, investigate further.
I mean, they probably
here's what I
didn't
get
do
about
it.
If we had a possible match on this boy in the box, and you had an opportunity to compare it to DNA of a suspect or a person that's possibly a relative, why not just do it? How much do DNA test cost?
That's true.
It doesn't make sense to me, but apparently nothing came of. You know, maybe they did do it and nothing came of it, and they just didn't report it.
Could be.
Yeah, that.
You know, bureaucracy, man.
Or cover it up.
Yeah.
Or a cover.
The second theory comes from medical examiner Remington Bristow, who investigated the case for over 36 years. Bristow gathered newspaper clippings of the boy and spent thousands of dollars of his own money and countless hours trying to identify the boy. He traveled all the way to Arizona and Texas for leads. Bristow even consulted with a psychic who held staples from the bassinet
Oh
box.
man, that
hoping
is
he or she
desperate.
could gather some clues. Bristow went even as far as carrying a mask of the boy's face in his briefcase.
Okay.
That's a little weird.
Let's think about some things here.
The last two went a little off the edge,
Yeah.
especially the latter. That doesn't even seem helpful.
So would you wear it and go?
That's
to him and
kind of
be like,
freaky.
Do you know me? Do you see my little boy face? Does this look familiar to you? Wah!
You know what's even weirder? Even if he didn't open with that, and he's like interrogating someone, like, "You seen this kid? No, no. All right, let me pull out one more thing. Clip. Now, now have you seen him?" And they're just like, "No. Could you please leave my home?"
Please leave.
Bristow theorized that the boy died accidentally. His freshly cut hair and nails indicated that he was well taken care of. Perhaps the boy's family never came forward because they did not want to be charged with murder. Based off of a psychic's clue, Bristow looked into a foster family that lived nearby where the boy was found. The foster family had already been interviewed by the police. At this foster family's 1961 estate sale, Bristow found a bassinet that he believed could have previously been stowed in the box the boy was found in.
They don't know what the other bassinets looked like?
That's weird. Yeah, I guess there must have nothing.
Maybe
must
there
have
was some
been that
variation
like
between
it
them.
didn't look like it. Then again, keep in mind this is not an official investigation.
Yeah, I know. This is just a man with a passion.
a passion for justice.
Yeah.
Respectable.
Bristow then began to theorize that the boy was an illegitimate child of the daughter of the foster family and was perhaps abandoned by the daughter so she would not be revealed as a single mother. Bristow would eventually pass away in 1993, but shortly after, Philadelphia detective Tom Augustine took up the case where Bristow left off. On February 23, 1998, Detective Augustine went to the home of Arthur Nicoletti, the man who led the former foster care home. Nicoletti's wife, Anna Marie, was the woman Bristow theorized to be the mother of the boy in the box. In addition to being Nicoletti's wife, Anna Marie was also Nicoletti's stepdaughter.
So
What the fuck?
he married. Wait, hang on. What?
Your brain is imploding right now.
I need like a visual here. So his wife
But when a man loves a woman,
and
so
I mean, I don't care if she's not biologically related to you. If that's her stepdaughter, you shouldn't marry her.
yeah, it's not incest technically because it's
it's not. Yeah. Anytime you have to say it's not incest technically, that's not great, Ryan.
true, but it isn't. It's not his blood.
Okay.
The
Anna
fucking
Marie told
hell.
Augustine that she did have a boy who passed away in bizarre fashion, with morgue records supporting her statement. His cause of death was electrocution from a nickel ride outside of a store, once again leading to a dead end.
That's another what the fuck moment.
Do you think she was like, "Hey, here's a nickel, Timmy. I'm gonna go inside and get some groceries. I'll be right back"? Or the more horrifying version of that, do you think she made him ride the ride and sat there and watched as he was apparently having too much fun and got really excited
If he
and
was
was like,
just like-
"Yeah!" And then
You think he screamed like R2D2?
Okay, I think he pitched his
There
microphone.
was a moment where she was probably like, "Wow, he's really enjoying that ride."
Yeah, it's just one of those unfortunate deaths where obviously it's a tragedy, but boy oh boy, is that a laugh riot.
The third and final
That's like 1,000 ways to
came from a
die,
woman
Dad.
named Martha. A psychiatrist from Cincinnati contacted Augustine and said one of her patients insisted on speaking to the police. The patient went by the name of Martha and said that when she was 11 years old, her mother took her to a house where she handed an envelope over for a boy.
Did you just realize something? What just happened?
Well, remember in the first theory, I said there was the guy who
Did
said
you not-
he sold his son.
Yeah, did you just not realize that until now, though?
Yeah.
Maybe those two theories are connected.
Jesus, I've never seen you. Eureka! You could put a light bulb.
Stupid
Can you play
Christ.
that back and put a light bulb over Ryan's head when that happens?
Was that clear? that what the connection I made? There was the guy who they thought maybe sold his son.
Yeah.
And here's the purchase happening.
And you didn't make that until you read it just now.
I'm so in each theory.
Yeah, you didn't link
That-
them.
Martha said that she was sexually abused by her mother, and the mother wanted to do the same to the boy. Martha said her mother beat the boy to death after struggling to bathe him and drove Martha and the boy to Philadelphia to abandon him. Martha spoke with investigators Tom Augustine, Joseph McGillen, and William Kelly. McGillen and Kelly were one of the first on the boy in the box crime scene. All three were allegedly convinced by Martha's story. According to Bill Fleischer, a retired FBI agent, details of Martha's story add up. the testimonies, addresses, and descriptions, it is a strong theory. But even with Martha's lead, the police were not able to verify if the boy was who Martha claimed he was.
Did I actually just solve something?
I think you did, to be honest.
I may have just solved something. Oh my God.
You've done it, Ryan.
But if that's the case, then the police would have just released it. So obviously this is not right.
Feels right.
Wow, doesn't take a lot to convince you.
Either way, to this day, the boy's identity remains a mystery. His grave is marked as America's Unknown Child at the Ivy Hill Cemetery in Philadelphia. To this day, people are mystified as to why nobody had come to claim him. Perhaps someday we will learn who this boy was and what happened to him. But for now, the case remains unsolved.
I'm gonna still say this is very unsolved.
Yeah.
But for a moment there, I thought I had solved something.
Yeah, you could see it in your expression. The day you solve something, I'll give you $500.
Oh wow, 500 real dollars?
Yeah.
Dude, just give him $5 grand.
Go to Disneyland with that kind of money? That'll last me a couple days, maybe. Thank you, Shane.
Let's make it 200.
$200?
That's still good.
Oh my! You're so generous, Mr.
500 is
Matei.
too much. I got groceries to buy.
Okay. Well, there you have it. Shane's gonna set me for life if I ever solve something with that 500 big ones.
200 queens, baby.
200 shekels.
So yeah, a lot of people think the mom who bought the boy from the father theory is most likely one. How about you guys? What do you think?